You're watching TelecomTV from the MEF 16 event in Baltimore. And I'm joined now by Patrick Ostiguy, who is President and CEO of Accedian Networks. Patrick, thanks for joining us on TelecomTV.
Thanks, Guy, for having me here.
Now, as the industry continues to talk about these key enabling technologies, NFV, SDN, LSO, what's the role and the importance of network performance assurance?
These different new technologies are pretty transformational for the industry. They're creating a shift that fundamentally has customers and service providers into a bit of a, getting out of their comfort zone and making sure that performance is going to be equal or even better than what it used to be is extremely important, especially in an environment where commoditisation is really happening across the industry, both in terms of devices and in terms of networks and in terms of services. So commoditisation, though, for customers does not mean reducing performance. And so customers, enterprises, as well as wholesale carriers are looking to make sure they maintain and improve performance also as a means to differentiate.
But as we move into a more virtualized environment, this surely becomes more tricky.
It does, and fundamentally, the idea is to follow the service as it moves, as it dynamically is instantiated, as applications are being dispersed, as the actual service and its constituents, get disaggregated. Following the trail of performance is really the trick. So, so this is the area, that we're focusing on as a company right now.
So how do you manage it? What's your approach to accomplishing this?
Bottom line is, you have to be in the service. You have to essentially imagine yourself as a little isotope that's being injected in the bloodstreams, and making sure that you follow the trail of the service packets, wherever they go through the service chain, and then really making sure that you have evidence of performance from end to end, but also section to section as you're going through these different service chains, from site to site, from function to site, from carrier to site, and from end to end, and really making sure that you're providing this differentiated performance.
So it's not just within the one network. When a customer's service covers multiple networks and cloud assets and services, as you say, you've got to follow this across domains, across networks.
Exactly, and the cloudification that's going on currently is really making a big difference. You have enterprises that are now putting all their eggs in the cloud basket, and so all of the applications are moving there. As you know, the IT staffs are being depleted. More and more is relying on connectivity. Having a sluggish internet connection or private line connection is basically a matter of having a whole day off at the office. You might as well go back home, fundamentally. It's not like it used to be. So there's so much relying in terms of mission critical applications that now it's not just something that affects the Fortune 100s, but it goes all the way to Fortune 1000 and beyond. So it's really changing the whole dynamics of the entire industry.
So what can we expect to see from Accedian over the next coming months and as we go and head towards MEF 17?
When you look at the two main trends that are fueling our growth, bottom line, you have the mobile infrastructure refreshes that are going on worldwide, whether it's going from 3G to 4G, LTE advanced, 5G even, and the whole trend of moving to voice over LTE. I mean, this is, I would say, half of our business is focused on helping mobile operators thriving in that environment while virtualizing their infrastructure. The other half of the thrust that is really fueling our growth is this whole cloudification and virtualization of services in more of a carrier to enterprise, cloud to enterprise, and all these different combinations. And I would say these two trends, with a common, have a common theme, which is network performance assurance. In both of these two industries, we're seeing the rise of performance assurance in terms of importance in terms of investment, in terms of differentiation, and basically in terms of making sure that the services are equal, if not better than what they used to do. And so from that standpoint, we're continuing to push the ball in transitioning these kinds of capabilities from hardware-based devices that used to be the norm to assure performance in the network to software functions that are being dispersed dynamically with the services, following the service chain, and making sure, again, that performance is there to stay and to improve.
And how important is the work that the MEF Forum does in this area and looking at the evolution of especially Ethernet-derived services?
It is critical. One of the things that service providers have become, and they've become brokers amongst themselves of these services. I mean, it's rare nowadays that you have a single service provider that does these things from end to end. So it's usual to have 2, 3, or even 4 service providers in a row to provide an enterprise service or even a mobile backhaul service. And so from that standpoint, having standardized languages that really create a norm as far as exchanging services, but also performance assurance norms is really, really critical. Otherwise, I mean, you're going to get into a situation where, I mean, it's going to be a zoo, and nobody wants that.
So you received some recognition from the MEF and the industry here in Baltimore last night.
Yes, indeed. So at the MEF Excellence Awards yesterday night, Accedian was awarded Carrier Ethernet 2.0 Technology of the Year. And that is something that we're really proud of. We weren't expecting it, and frankly, it's a great surprise. It's actually the second time in a row that we win MEF Excellence Award. We had one more of a virtual CPE NFV award last year, and to win the C 2.0 Technology of the Year this time is really a very nice accolade from the industry, which we're really proud of.
And this is the award here.
Let's
have a look at it then, shall we?
This is it, actually, exactly. And we're really going to share this with the whole team, and the excellent work that's really built up to that. I mean, it's really the fruit of years of progress in the market and in the industry. Basically helping our service provider customer thrive with better network performance.
Well, congratulations. But for now,
thank you.
Patrick, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Guy.